Welcome to Deck Talk, where you will be prepared. Deck Talk is a show where we bring on pro players, commentators, deck creators, anybody who's trying to make Hearthstone the #1 rising esports game. Today we have a very special guest. This man I've known since he's been playing in the original Mana Grind Friday Night Swisses, and he has since been rising through the ranks on the European scene. He's been legendary every season I've known him, and now he is ranked up there at 15th in EU and 40th in the world. The one, the only, the German juggernaut, Theude. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, right. Now, you literally rose from, like, obscurity to notice me now. I mean, you took on players like Amaz and Reynad in the HyperX, and you beat them both. Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
And you did really good. You did really, really good on that. And it's nice to see somebody who literally came from, like, humble beginnings in Hearthstone to actually get up there in higher levels of play and play for that big money. So remember, people, play in every tournament you can. You will make that money.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to play tournaments, like, no matter if they're, like, paid or non-paid or in a more casual way or more professional way. Like, you can always learn. That's what an esport, or especially Hearthstone as a card game, is about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every experience, like, contributes to, like, your process of becoming a better player and making a name for yourself. So, like, I always liked those Mana Grind Swisses. Like, there wasn't any money involved, like, really, and, like, and me and my team, we love to play them. Like, I remember one time I played in top 8 against Cypher as well, and we had, like, a really close match and really fun match. And,
Oh, yeah, that was a
well,
great
I
one.
always enjoyed those. Like, it
Right.
was an amazing experience. Thank
Now,
you for that shift, by the way.
I did what I could. I ended up running like over 100 of those tournaments before I finally burnt out, and my health took its toll. Now, speaking of health, you were on your way to the BlizzCon, road to BlizzCon. Matter of fact, right now as we're recording this, everybody's getting all prepped for DreamHack Sweden.
Well, I think they're already playing at the moment.
Oh, they're playing at the moment. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Time differences.
Time differences, yes, yes, yes.
All right, so,
Oh.
but you had to drop out from that due to health concerns. I really hope you get better because I'd love to see you come back this next season and just kick some ass.
Well, there will be another Worlds, I guess. Like, I think it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
only right call to make, like, put health first. It was a hard call, nonetheless, but I think it was the right call, so I'm not really salty about it or anything, because, like, I think it's the only right call to make, so
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
it's fine.
And it's funny, after you made that call, there were a lot of people who went, "Why? I don't get it." And then you had a great amount of support, like in the Twitter sphere and Facebook, that just was like, "Hey, man, get better, man. We're praying for you." And you know what? That is something great to see. And I was
Yeah,
really
you
happy to
really
see that.
appreciate those comments, like, they really help.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they do.
like especially this morning when I started seeing the broadcast, I got a little sad, you know. It's like, and then I talked to people who are there, and they told me, oh, how amazing all the stuff in the background is, and I was, like, really sad about it. But then those comments, they really help.
Yeah,
Like,
they do. All right, so now we're going to be taking a look at a deck that you used in the HyperX tournament. This, like, when you played against Reynad.
yes.
All right, so let's get over to this deck now. This is a Druid deck. We love Druids. They are probably one of the most expensive classes to play in this game, short of Warrior.
Yeah, well, they both have a lot of legendaries in them, usually. Like, maybe not Token Druid, they come up with less legendaries, but the rest, like Rand Druid or Control Warrior, they're, like, one of the most expensive decks around.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think the only one that's near as expensive is Handlock.
Yeah, Handlock, and maybe the Control Priest,
Hmm.
but not as much, I guess.
Yeah, no. All right, so now there's two ideologies, well, actually three ideologies, when it comes to Druid. One of which is Token, as we've discussed. The other one is a ramp, which this is, and there's a third one. Which one is that?
The Raw Druid, like, it's like you play the Wild Growth, but you have a more aggressive approach, like you play double combo. And it was, like, really on the scene, like, 2 months ago. Like, I took it to Worlds, to the Worlds qualifier, like, a week ago, and it was the best performing deck, actually, for me and for Number Guy as well. We played the exact same deck list there.
Yeah, and it's one of the decks, if I remember correctly, Savages really likes. So,
Yeah.
all right. So now we're dealing with a ramp druid, and as you can tell, a ramp druid is a very expensive druid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't get off cheap playing any kind of control when it comes to druid. So now this deck is kind of expensive. We're just going to highlight over some of these really expensive cards here. We'll start off with Blood Mage Thanos. I love this guy.
It's amazing.
All right. We're not going to cover Loatheb because, well, Loatheb is soulbound and technically free if you played Persinax Ramus. All right, so now we get to Sylvanas Windrunner. Another great card.
Yeah, Windrunner is really good. Like, I like to play over Karen at the moment
Oh, so do
because
I.
yeah, because Karen is like I love to play Karen like two months back, but now I think it's just maybe a little bit too slow in some decks.
Right. All right. Now we have the Black Knight. So, logic behind the Black Knight.
The logic behind the Black Knight is well, there are a lot of Belchers around in almost every deck,
Yeah.
and then the other logic is like there's only one efficient way to deal like if your opponent like faces your engine of war, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what you have the Black Knight for. Like
Okay.
especially in those control warrior matchups where they like to face as the engine of war, then you just Black Knight and win the game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, we've got. We're not going to cover Kel'Thuzad because, well, again, he is technically pseudo free. Ragnaros, the King of Swing,
The
and a
King of
great,
Swing.
and my personal favorite target to put a faceless manipulator on.
Yeah.
And then we've got the King of the Trees, Cenarius.
Yeah, it's also a really good card.
Really is. Now it's kind of odd seeing him in a ramp
Why?
druid. Well, most of the time you see this guy mostly in the token because of his secondary effect.
Yeah, but like in this ramp, you mostly use the taunts. Like it's just a good play because you can't get big game hunted.
Mm-hmm.
It provides you with two small taunts, and it's just a good value card because like do you have two twos? Like for some decks, it can like for example Zoo is like causing problems, right? It trades effectively like for 3 minions, and you still have like a 5/4 left afterwards.
Right. Now, if you could get him up with Kel'Thuzad already on the board, that's amazing. Those taunts never
Yeah,
die.
no, they never die. Like I think this deck is like made for Kel'Thuzad because like Kel'Thuzad is strongest if he's hiding behind taunts, and like there are lots of those in there.
I think most of this deck is nothing but taunts. It's like
Yeah,
almost 33%.
yeah.
So, all right. So the deck is really interesting. I really like the concept. Why don't you explain the overall strategy of this for the viewers?
Well, the strategy is to basically stay alive. Like, some people will say, like, "Oh, wait, there is no combo in there." Yeah, that's on purpose because like this deck isn't aiming like to get a fast kill, but basically just outvalue your opponent, outlive your opponent, and then kill him later in the game when he basically has no way to clear your board or kill you anymore.
Right.
The Rams are very important in this deck. Like, I think that like I had like my win rate was like about like I think 1 month ago when I played it a lot, and during that PX was like 87% with ramp and then about like 50 or 60 without. So you can see how important those ramps are because they basically give you the tempo
Mm-hmm.
um, to make big plays, and so your opponent can come back. Like without ramps, it's way harder, but with ramps, it's relatively easy to like get board control and ride the game out to a win.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you kind of a hard question here. You speak of value, but yet, where's the Chillwind Yeti?
Oh well, um, the Yeti was in there at first instead of the Senjin.
Mm-hmm.
But afterwards, me and my teammates, we were like testing the deck, and we were deciding like, okay, wait, if you live to turn 8 or 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have so much value in the deck, like those Sunwalkers, Ancient of Wars, Ancient of Lores, Rag, Kel'Thuzad scenarios. If you get to that point, you will win the you will win the game like 9 out of 10, right? So basically, we dropped the Shelvin Yetis for Senjins to like counter those early rush decks.
Right. Because traditionally it used to be where people would get the coin plus innervate and they'd turn one a Yeti.
Yes, yes,
And
exactly.
that's really hard to come back from. It really is.
Yeah, that's, but more a raw druid kind of play. Like I
Right.
did that play during the World Skill Fire a lot, and like people struggle with Yetis, like the first turn Yetis, they are pretty hard to deal with. But like with this deck, you would never like innovate out a engine
No.
because like you just use the innovate to smoothen out the mana curve. Like for example, turn 3, innovate out a 5-drop like Belcher or Druid of the Claw and then follow up with Descension instead of like playing Descension on turn 2.
Right, right. That way you're forcing him to trade into your stuff
Exactly.
inefficiently, and yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Anytime where you could actually control the options of your opponent, I love.
Exactly.
All right, so I think we've talked enough about the deck. I think it's time we get this deck in action. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think it's a pretty good idea.
All right, so for those of you who do not understand the show, what's going to happen now is I'm going to play this deck while Theude here is coaching me through this. All right, we are going to take this on the ladder. Which, by the way, how do you feel about the recent nerfs?
Well, I think they are amazing nerfs. Like the only thing that like I didn't like was the timing. Like
Yeah.
the nerfs came like yesterday and today there's the BlizzCon qualifier. I don't think that's a pretty smart idea.
No, I don't
No, that
either.
is it's like it's abysmal timing, right? It's
Oh,
like I don't know.
man. You know what? I can't wait to see what decks people actually threw together for that tournament.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
right.
going to be
I mean,
hilarious.
like you don't know what to expect, and like I talked to a lot of players, like number guy before a tournament, and he was saying like, well, I don't even know what to ban. Like, I can't like focus my deck strategies. Like usually when you go into a tournament with ban system, like the HyperX, right?
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I built my decks. I will totally ignore Hunter and always ban Hunter. He
Right.
was like, well, I could do the same with like with like Warlock, for example,
I think
but I
Mage is actually going
can't.
to be the primary target
Yeah,
now.
yeah, maybe, right? So the thing is, like, someone comes up with an amazing rogue deck nobody like thought about, right? I have to ban that, and then he has like Warlock or Mage as well, and then I'm like, wow, so I have to build like all around decks. Like, that was a pretty hard decision to which decks to choose for that tournament.
Right. All right, so let's get into the play. All right. So what are we hoping for, ideally, to face off against? Because you know what this is strong against, and you know what this is weak against.
Well, this version of the deck has like might have a little bit of struggle with Zoo maybe because like there's one Senjin out. Like on ladder, I sometimes played like with two Senjins.
Mm-hmm.
But normally, like, you have all-around good matchups. That's what this deck is about. It's an all-rounder. It's like you have like there's no hard counter to the deck. You had struggles with the hunter before the nerf.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of,
Speaking of the hunter, okay, let's see how this goes.
oh, this will be interesting. All right.
I must protect the wild.
We got a ramp card.
Okay, so this is very interesting with the ramp. So let's see. I think I would judge only the Ancient of War here.
Really?
Maybe you can even think about keeping it, but against hunter, it's just like too easily removed. Like the curve is like you. One important fact is you never coin the wild growth with this deck.
No.
You always keep the coin to smoothen the curve. And I really like the keeper against hunter. You can silence like a mad scientist, but because probably this will be a face hunter.
Oh, yeah.
And well, then you can follow up with Belcher, which is a good play against hunter.
All right.
And then I
yeah.
think you can go from there.
All right, we'll do that. Great explanation there. And look, we
Thank
got
you.
another taunt.
Yeah, well, that's actually pretty good. Like if there's no keeper target, you can just coin out a 5-drop and follow up with 5-drop. So, oh, that's an Undertaker. So this is getting interesting.
All right.
All right. So I think you just pass here because like there's no use to do anything here.
Exactly.
Like you lose, often with this deck you lose a bit of tempo in the start, and then you try to get it back later. So now you just ramp, that's the usual turn, and then you try to come back from like tempo you lost during the first 2 turns.
All right. Now, we have a couple options here, one of which is a swipe, the other one being a Keeper of the Growth.
Or a coin 5-drop.
Ooh,
I think this looks like a swipe to me.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. All right.
I think it's...
Actually,
Yeah, I
we,
think
don't,
it's still...
we don't even have to coin. We just swipe.
No, we just swiped. Like,
All right. So, obvious target.
Rusa sounds some of his tempo. Yeah. This looks good now, I think.
All right. And then next turn, Sludge Belcher, I'm assuming?
Well, let's see what he does. I think if he Hound matches here, no, Eagle on Bows. Okay, that's interesting. So now with Eagle on Bow out, I wouldn't play Sylvanas. Like you could think about playing Sylvanas here, but I wouldn't because like there's probably coming a freezing trap coming up, right?
Right.
And that's why you should play a Taunt. And I think with those creatures on the board, I would go for the Belcher.
All right.
Like you try to not take as much face damage in the start, because then later you might be able to finish you off over the taunts. Okay. So he's probably gonna use his weapon charge to kill the 1/2.
But he's still got enough man. Oh, he doesn't have the secret. Interesting. Either that, or he's just going for full bore at this point.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so this is an interesting turn. Let's see. Well, there are a couple of plays that are actually good here. I'm not sure which one I actually prefer. Well, which plays do you see? You probably see your Sylvanas play, right?
Sylvanas play is one thing that I see. The other thing I see is a safer play, which is pretty much going Druid of the Claw, then coining out the Wrath, and at least taking that off the board.
Well, I would just hero power it, and because like there's no need to. You have a play for next turn, so you don't need to mark for cards, I guess.
Good point.
I think I probably like to Druid of the Claw and hero power the Web Spinner. I think that's probably the best play here.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And then we hope he doesn't get a high main of the Web Spinner, right?
Yeah. Right. So we go in taunt form.
Exactly. So maybe we can bait a Hunter's Mark here.
Maybe. Though we're going to have to really start looking at recouping some life here, I got a feeling.
Yeah. Well, the Ancient of Lores and the Hunter matchup are mostly used for healing.
I agree. Oh, we did. We baited it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what he does. Oh, he low flames. Okay.
Low them.
Well, that's fine. So now it's the turn of truth, I guess.
Hmm. Well,
what place do you see? Like,
I see the Sunwalker is a really good one, but it's not very mana efficient.
Yeah.
I could say we could go with the Ancient of War, because that would stop almost everything and force him to use his second Hunter's Mark if he's got it.
Yeah, well, I see only that play, like the Ancient of War. Like if he has like the second Hunter's Mark or Deadly Shot, you're in a bad spot. Otherwise, you're in an amazing spot.
Right. Though, with the change in Hunters, we might actually see Deadly Shot come out of his hand.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now.
Like, the thing is, like, you have no option to play around it, though.
Right. Like, if we'd gone
Sylvanas,
if we'd gone Sylvanas, most likely we'd have gotten a 1/1. And I don't like those odds at all.
Yeah, I'll get a 1/1, or like he has like 10 damage, 12 damage in hand. So see, this works out better.
All right, no more weapon. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Probably play Hymen on empty board, I guess. Raptor, okay, that's almost an Hymen. Okay. That's interesting.
Well,
we
have a couple options here.
I only like one, I think.
All right, and what is that?
Sunwalker and Raptor 4/3. I mean, like, you could silence the 3/2. I don't think it's any good. I think this is just the best option. Because he struggled removing that Ancient of War. If he had Deadly Shot, he would have used it. So this now he has to ping off the shield. And then it still trades.
Right.
If you can't ping off the shield, well,
Though, I am worried we might see a King Crush play.
King Crush play.
You'd be surprised, man. Whoa.
See, now he has to waste an Unleash to ping off the shield.
Right.
That's what you were hoping for.
Yep. Now, he's really low on cards. I kind of almost feel like we should deny him even more.
Well, I think that's a good option, but like the thing is, like, I think the play might be too weak. That's what I'm concerned about.
All right. So
well, I see two plays here. Like, I would probably go for Ancient of Lore Hero Power this turn. The only question is if you heal or draw.
Well, we're below 20, and that's where I normally kind of like to keep myself as a Druid.
Yeah, I think I would lose the heal. Like look at your hand. He has one card in hand.
Yeah, I'd go
two cards if you kill the loot order. I think I would just heal and get a 5/5 on the board. I mean, he's at 23, so if you can get some pressure out.
Right.
Like,
and hero power to
the loot order.
Okay.
Of course, just with damage on the board. I think this is looking fine.
Right. Now watch that just top decked him a Deadly Shot. I'd laugh if it did.
Well, if it's Deadly Shot, it's fine. If you Deadly Shot your non-taunt creatures, it's fine.
Oh, he's digging deep.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's marked through a lot of his deck.
Okay. Okay, so we know one Unleash is gone, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So there are several plays I'm seeing here. Let's see. Well, I think the Ancient of Lore is definitely going to phase. You can start with that, I think.
Yeah. I
So
kind of
it's
feel like
18, right?
I kind of feel like Sunwalker hero power to his face, just to buffer out what the Leopard Gnome can do.
Well, I also like another play,
Okay.
which is playing Lawfab and the Big Game Hunter,
Mhm.
and hero powering the 2/1, which puts you 1 point of lethal the turn after. Like if you top deck any point of damage, you have lethal there. And
Okay.
I'm not afraid of dying on 16, right? Yeah.
Okay. So we go
Yeah, you
Loeth.
go a little bit aggressive.
All right. So we
Big
go
Game Hunter,
Loetheb.
hero power the 2/1, and Big Game Hunter.
All right.
So now with the keeper in your hand, you're 1 point of lethal next turn.
Well fought.
Oh.
Okay.
Good call. Very nice call.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to go aggressive, right? It's Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
It's like even if this deck which is kind of a defensive deck, like sometimes if you see a spot to go aggressive and put him under pressure and make him do bad calls, that's what you want to do. Like unleashing for the Divine Shield,
Oh
for
yeah.
example.
Yeah.
If you can get him to do such things, like you have to take the opportunity, I guess.
All right. You ready for your next game?
Of course.
All right. Now, this isn't your first time doing coaching, is it?
No, I'm coaching off stream as well, and sometimes on stream. Like my stream is like basically like all educational, and we always do coaching. Like I get coached, I coach someone else on the stream, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a great thing because I know there's a lot of people who want to learn how to be a better Hearthstone player. You know how not to make those really
Yeah.
silly mistakes and things of that nature, and how to see the board and understand board states and all that. So that's awesome. All right.
Will rise against
So we have half a ramp.
Mm-hmm. Have a ramp. Well, I think I would ditch everything but the innovate. Like you're looking for the 4-drop or
And we're going against a
the wild
druid.
grow.
So yeah.
Yeah, like Druid against Druid is like wild grow wins the game most of the time. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Like now you got like 1.5 wild grows, I guess, because you're going first as well.
Mm-hmm. So even if he coins to wild growth, which is the dumbest thing I think you can do as a druid.
Well, it depends. Like with Raw Druid, you can do it if you have like the follow-up Harvest Golem.
All right. I don't,
That
there's
is actually a good play.
nothing we can do here but pass turn.
No. Just end turn.
Yeah.
You
All
already
right.
got the Black Knight. If it's like a ramp version, like this might get some value. But I expect it more to be like, yeah, something like that.
All right. So ramp.
Yeah, you just ram. It's always your turn to go. Like, try not to get pressured. Don't lose your mind. Just go like, okay, ram, and come back afterwards. Like, don't panic and ref something, or like, just if you can ram, you should like 95% of the time just do it. Okay.
Interesting.
And it's very interesting because this looks like a token or a raw druid.
That's what I'm thinking it is. Yeah. All right. I don't think we're gonna get any value out of the swipe here.
No, I think you just hero power his face. I mean, like, if I look at the plays, I see a next turn Loathab and the turn after play Ragnaros. That's what I see at the moment from the hand.
Agreed. The likelihood of him having, I mean, yeah, the Ragnaros is probably gonna get eaten by him just trading into it, but you know that's actually still pretty good.
Well, the Rag is kind of a taunt then in that scenario.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, like, with this deck, you always have to focus, like, to not have dead turns after turn 3. Let's do just a dead turn 3.
Oh!
Okay, that's fine. So you counter Loathab.
Yeah, that's going to stop him from trying to do that early game burst, which is what I think
Exactly.
he's trying to get off here.
Because now you just try to come back into the game.
You know, we really need a taunt. I'm kind of feeling like a taunt would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. This game can, if he has like the perfect cards in hand, this game can. Oh, let's see.
I think he literally got the perfect draw.
Yeah, he did. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay, that's a dead card.
well,
Well, there are a few plays I see.
I'm thinking innervate, rag, trade Loatheb to Loatheb, personally.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, then we have to try to kill off the zombie chow.
Right. Which,
I I I, I don't see any other play here.
yeah, neither do I.
I think it's like it can horribly backfire if you have a draw and we have the spider, for example, but it's the only play I see.
Right.
And now you have to hit the zombie chow.
Come on, hit the zombie chow. Thank you!
Okay, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Alright.
Well, now he kind of has to deal with it. Like, if he can out-tempo you, the next thing you can just...
He's gonna need a swipe, and actually, I don't think he can kill it easily unless he's got a big game hunter in his hand.
Well, I don't think they played anymore, the token druids.
Oh wow, he's going a totally different route here.
Yeah, he's going aggressive.
Yes, he is.
So he's on his turn 6 next turn.
Right. Oh, salvation.
Well, honestly, I think you just dropped the Sunwalker here.
Right.
I don't see any other play.
Right.
And then you pray to your activate the 3-2 or something.
Oh, mommy, out of it.
Just not the face.
Hit the 3-2. Hit the 3-2. Hit the 3.
Okay.
That kind of sucks, but
Well, it kind of sets up the swipe, which is fine.
well, here's the other thing. He's gonna be
Oh, he straight
retarded.
forward.
Why?
He's swiping. He's swiping.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're still struggling.
We are definitely struggling. That's a beautiful sight right there. And as a matter of fact, so Sludge Belter?
Yeah, I'm thinking about if we actually kill the 3-2 as well. And
That's what I'm thinking
not
as
sure.
well. Yeah. I mean, because right now we are in such bad shape.
yeah, I think we just do. I think it's bullshit and kill the 3-2.
All right. So innervate.
Innovative swipe. Just kill it. It's a really like desperation kind of play, but I think at this point we have to go for it, like to stay alive.
All right.
And then hope for Reg to finish the game for us.
Well, that's not where we wanted it to hit, but that's okay.
Well, I think both targets are fine this turn.
Yeah. Here he goes, getting options.
Okay, I think this is a pretty easy turn.
Drew the claw,
Yeah, with taunt.
of course.
Where shall I strike?
And then you kill the Harvest Golem with hero power and the Belcher.
Right.
And then you hope that Reg hits the 5-5. Oh, Phase is fine as well, I guess. 15 is a lot of pressure on him. And now basically you have the tempo and you just try to ride it out.
Yeah, this is.
Like he has a card advantage and stuff.
I mean,
like
we started out. It looked like we had a great hand, but he just had a much better and sharp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly, we got him scared now, you know?
Oh yeah. So obviously Black Knight. Oh.
Oh, this is interesting. No, this is an interesting turn.
Oh.
Okay, I think you definitely start with Wild Grow.
Really?
Yeah, because you draw a card. Because, like, all those other 2 cards, they leave open mana.
Right. Right.
So let's see what... If you get... Okay, that's another option.
I think we have to Black Knight the 4/6.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. So let's see if there's another good play. I think it's the only good play to Black Knight here.
Yeah, I mean, our other option is to Faceless Manipulator Ragnaros and just say YOLO, and I'm not really feeling that.
No, I'm not a fan of that. I think it's Black Knight this turn.
None shall pass.
So there's one more question. Let's see, if he has combo... It's lethal anyway. Well, the 4-6. Let me count it out, okay?
Hmm.
If it's combo, we are probably dead, no matter what happens. Let's see. Unless I think you just go face with everything. And hero power face as well. So 2 trees don't kill you. Not to face. Good. Okay.
Oh,
So now this gets 5. You're not dead to combo. He's 1 off with combo, I think.
yeah.
Because you're hero powered.
Yep. Unless he's got to innervate and power the wild.
For example, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
he would need that. So he's going to heal up. That's actually a really smart defensive play there.
Yeah, you should do that.
All right. I'm kind of feeling...
Let's see.
We have options here.
Yeah, there are options. Okay, let's see. He's on 15, right?
Right.
15. Okay. Options. Is there actually... What is the best play here?
My personal thought is Black Knight into the Shade, Faceless Manipulator
Yeah.
the Rag, and just go full bore into his face.
Well, you have lethal. You're right.
Yeah.
I was a bit slow. It's 4-5 into 3-2, 4-6 into 5-5, hero power into 5-5, and then faceless rag is lethal.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I was a little bit slow there.
I'm invincible.
Oh, come on! Let the double rags hit you.
Oh, he didn't finish.
I love double rag. Double rag is one of my favorite plays. Oh, nice. Look at that win streak. All right, so the deck is solid in this meta.
Yeah, it should be very solid.
Yeah.
And there was an important lesson here. What happened to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something that should never happen to you. Like, I was still at the point where I was trying not to die. You should always check for your lethal first.
Exactly.
Very
exactly.
important lesson.
Well, I'm a very aggressive person in general, as you obviously know from being in my tournaments.
Yeah.
So I always look for how can I maximize the pain I'm going to cause somebody. So, yeah. That and there's nothing that says salt like double rag.
That double rack is amazing.
It really is.
Like people got salty at me for not facelessing my rag against RDU after turn 4 rag or something. But I still think it was the correct play back then. Sometimes it's overextending.
I can agree with that. All right.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it was fun. Like the deck is actually pretty good because like at the moment there's like an unknown meta, and like those kind of defensive decks they work pretty well in those kind of metas, I think.
Right. Because they literally remove options. That's exactly what they're designed to do. It's kind of removing options because you're forcing them to use them as you're going, but then your options just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they have nothing left.
Yeah, it's like you usually just outvalue him over time, and at some point, like you saw at the start of second game, we lost tempo. He got like almost a perfect draw, right?
Oh yeah.
He got tempo, and what you just did is you rammed, and then you tried to come back from like a disadvantage and get back into the game. That's how this should work. Like you should never try to keep up. You should try to like it's fine if you go ahead, it's fine, but then I just want to come back later. That's how it works with those kind of decks, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean, this deck has a great recovery, and I love that. I love that about Druids. They can recover very nicely from bad openings and tempo. So that is great. This is a phenomenal deck. All right.
Oh,
so now we're going to get to that wonderful portion of the show where we get to promote our guests. All right. So if you'd like to follow Theude, you can follow him on Facebook at facebook.com/TheudeHS. You can also check out his Twitch at twitch.tv/Theude. Like he said before, he does a lot of coaching on his streams and a lot of other great educational things. Everybody needs to check that out.
Yeah, there's also different stuff. Like sometimes we're doing like fun tournaments on the stream, like coaching some arena as well. Like because people mentioned me like Theude, can't you play some arena for us? I was like, okay, why the hell not, right? They were like, well, there were so many good arena streamers, but like they all kind of dropped arena for now. So I got a little bit back into arena and was pretty successful lately, actually.
Well, yeah, they all realize that there's more money in constructed in tournaments.
Yeah, maybe, but like people like to play arena.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, a fun fact, right? My parents actually started to play Hearthstone as well after the HyperX. Yes, and my mom is totally into arena, for example.
Best
Like
parents ever.
oh yeah, they are, and I always have to help her like build the decks and stuff. Like, and that's one thing like a lot of people have a struggle with, like things like mana curve. You know what I'm talking about, but newer players, like if you go like mana curve, they're like, what is the mana curve?
It's right over there.
Exactly, right? And that's like stuff you can explain to people, like to actually make like the experience of arena and also construct it better, because mana curve is obviously important in constructed as well, right?
Yeah. I remember when Hearthstone first came out, and we were like talking about like theories and this, that, and the other, and play. And somebody was watching me stream at one time, and they're like, "What do you mean curve out?" Like I was playing a paladin, all right, and that concept back then, curving out a paladin, basically meant following your mana curve with every single play. Which, as a paladin, your mana curve starts at 4 every time.
Paladin.
So once
Yeah,
you
like
hit 4, it's like.
Yeah, like in arena, it's very important because like I see a lot of people like I make some pick choice in arena which people do not understand, because like for example why do you pick the Bloodsail Raider over a Yeti? And I was like, well, you see, like I have already 8 4-drops and 2 2-drops. It's just the only correct pick because I need to curve out the deck. And
you need those early game.
Exactly, like it doesn't matter if you have like 20 Ragnaroses in your deck, you're dead by turn 6, right?
Yeah.
So that's something very important for like in Magic Draft or Sealed and in Hearthstone Arena.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward because I heard some whispers around the competitive arena format. I'm not sure how it's gonna pan out, but
well,
I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm actually looking to start my another show, which is going to be based on the concept of man mode. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay, man mode is where you go to your Hearthstone client, right? You have an open deck slot. You click make a new deck. You pick a class. And then when, you exit out of it and it says, hey, you have not put any cards here. Would you like us to fill it in automatically? You go,
of course, yeah.
Yes. And you play that.
Oh yeah, I actually did a tournament on that, like that on my stream with random decks. That was pretty fun. But we actually had to roll the classes as well.
Oh yeah. And just roll a 1 through 9 on it, and so I might be actually bringing that to the internet here soon, where having different players actually play off like that.
Well, that sounds amazing. Like.
Oh yeah, it'd be great because we already know some of these players are really great with the constructed and all that. But what happens when you take away all their tools, and then it just becomes about RNG and skill?
Yeah, it's like there was and things happened that you do not know about. Like for example, like during the tournament, there was this one situation where like the Druid had the poison seeds. I've never seen that card in constructed play, right? And he was playing against a priest with Dark Cultist and another creature. And what happens if you poison seeds? Does the cultist buff one of the trees or not?
No.
You're correct. But like
I had to think about the order of operation on that. It's like no.
Yeah, but I was like 70% sure that, or like 80% that it doesn't, but it actually doesn't. Like there are some things you like. You know the Death Lord about Pyromancer thingy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like something I can't really like understand in my mind, like coming from Magic. How a deck should work, but yeah.
When it comes to Wild Pyromancer, those interactions with certain spells don't make any sense. I.e., if you grab somebody's Wild Pyromancer with a Shadow Madness, how the hell does it still trigger?
Well, like Blizzard made an explanation for that, like, and I can follow it to some degree. Like they said, like, the card reads, Wild Pyromancer, deal 1 damage to all creatures on the board, all minions on the board after you cast a spell, and basically, like, the stack in Hearthstone works like until one player gets initiative again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, between Shadow Madnessing the Wild Pyromancer and being able to attack with it or playing another spell, there's like no room for interaction. So basically, the system counts it as, okay, you just played a spell. Oh, there's a Wild Pyromancer on your table. You played a spell. After you play a spell, it triggers. That was the official explanation. If you liked it or not, it's a different story, but it's at least an explanation, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a very good explanation,
no,
but
it's
at least it's an explanation, which is more than we get from other game designers. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, this has been a lot of fun. And I enjoyed this a lot. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Number Guy at the Worlds at the moment. Like I prep with him for the Worlds, like after I dropped out, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he does really well.
Oh,
And
same here.
also shout outs to Lofa, who's a really really nice guy. I don't know
yeah.
if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and especially to Carlis, my former teammate who dropped out of innovation as well after I dropped out because he wanted to still stream with me and focus on me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a pretty selfless act, and I appreciate that act. And of course, to my girlfriend, parents, all the friends, to all the viewers of this show, like you should support Shiv because he's a really amazing guy. Okay, okay. Well, I think that's about it.
All right. All right. So again, everybody, check out Theude. Guy's a rising star, great, legendary player. You see what he can do with the deck. You see the coaching. Need some help? Go talk to this man. I guarantee he'll set you straight. All right, this is TheChiv saying thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you like the show, please like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like the show, hey, tell me why. Maybe we can change it up for you. Theude, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye, everyone. Say goodbye now.
Bye.